today's topic is embrace failure.
Hi everyone, it's Melanie from Nourishment. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode. Today I want to talk about something that is really important, and I'm sure it's going to be very beneficial for you on your journey as well. Today's video is entitled Embrace Failure. Since being on this lifestyle for the past 8 months, I have made so many mistakes, and I think some of them are also going to attribute to the pace of my progress. So let's get started. Eating non-vegan foods. Put it out there, it's happened to me. I'm sure it's happened to you on your journey, or is happening right now. And this was tricky for me. I was living with non-vegans, and the things that I used to love were temptations for me. So what I found on my journey is that when I carved myself up with lots and lots of fruits, I didn't have those cravings anymore. So I also found that educating yourself is highly important. I have a section on how to start a raw foods lifestyle video, where in the description section I have a list of materials and resources that I have used on my journey to help educate myself. So I highly recommend that you check that one out. Calories. Now this was the one that I struggled with on my journey. I found that I was consuming too many calories. Now I was throwing back the smoothies for breakfast and lunch, and I found that in a smoothie you can pack over 1,000 calories just in one smoothie. So I found that I was eating too much. I then began listening to my body, and my body got into the rhythm of I would eat when I'm hungry, and then I would stop when I was full. Overt fats. Now I have to be so careful with overt fats in this lifestyle. Number one is it aggravates my skin. You probably have seen before and after pictures if you've been following my journey. I used to have really bad acne underneath my jawline, and just pimples underneath the skin here. I actually made a mistake last week with this. Actually, I upped my overt fats just to see if there'd be any difference. Yes, there was. I have pimples, like light pimples underneath the skin on my forehead. I also noticed a couple of spots on my face as well. So that's not something I'm still trying to work out, how much fat can I have, because there was a point I got to when I actually cut out overt fats. But they are important to the diet. I'm just trying to work out how much I should be having. Alcohol, my gosh, this was a crazy one for me. When I started my journey, I actually went on a holiday to see friends in the UK. So there were people that actually hadn't seen me since being on this journey. I wasn't confident within myself to know that I shouldn't be drinking. Whenever I'd see a friend, I'd be catching up, we'd be drinking, it would be like a party. And I basically had a party for 6 weeks straight. So that took a toll on my body. I found that my weight went up 3 kilos. It could be a factor that contributed to that for sure. So this is something that I'm still working on. I find that's really hard. I'm trying to embrace it and learn from my mistakes, but I haven't got to a point where I am not drinking at all. Yeah, it's difficult for me to work out where my happy medium is. Ordering out. This was really tricky for me on my journey, because when I first started, I didn't have the knowledge, I didn't have the confidence to tell the waitress what my dietary requirements are. And as a result, I was eating too much fat. Again, when I was in the UK, my friends and I were dining out quite a lot. I didn't know how to order. So that was a massive thing that I learnt. Now when I go out to restaurants, I try and typically stay with Asian, Mexican kind of cuisines, because I find that they always have rice, beans, or rice and vegetables, and it's never really a problem. Not eating enough fruit. Now, I know I have said before that I was eating too much, but there were times when over the past 8 months where I wasn't eating enough fruit. The reason why I say that is because after I finished dinner, I would crave something sweet. So if you're craving something sweet after a meal, that means you didn't eat enough fruit before you started. So this is a huge one for me. I posted maybe about a month ago on Instagram to say that it was like 10 o'clock at night and I was hungry, so I had like a bowl of mandarins. I haven't made that mistake since then actually, but it's something, yeah, I definitely had to learn the hard way. Scales. Now, scales are not my best friend. They never have been. I don't know if they ever will. I find scales lie. They're dirty liars because it tells you how much you weigh. It doesn't tell you the percentage of body fat, how much water retention you've got, and how much muscle mass. So I'm struggling with this. One of the biggest things that I've had to embrace since being on this lifestyle is not to weigh myself every single day. And I spoke to one of my wonderful friends, Danielle, who lives in the Isle of Man, and she told me, put the scales away and measure yourself, but don't do it every day. She said to measure yourself every couple of months. So that's what I have been doing. I can see that I am losing weight, and yes, occasionally I'll bring out the scales and my weight it's still the same number on the scale, but I look thinner or leaner. So the scales are definitely playing tricks in my head, so that's why I'm trying to embrace that and just leave that and let it slide. Sleep. Wow, sleep. Oh my gosh. I'm learning that my body requires about 8 to 9 hours, and that's where I'm usually quite happy. And I notice when I make that mistake and I don't go to bed when I usually would, I get these big lines underneath my eyes. And sometimes I wouldn't be as happy and vibrant as if I were to sleep a full night. So this is something else that I'm learning. Be prepared. It's so important to be prepared on this lifestyle because you do not want to be caught off guard if you're out and about and you don't want to be making bad choices. On my journey, what I do is I do my shopping on the weekend. I would make up a couple of sauces. I make a thick tomato sauce. The recipe's in my Instagram in the description. I also try and cook up some rice or some sweet potatoes, and I usually mash it together, so I've got little servings in the fridge if I'm coming home late. Also, I try and keep 2 litres of juice in the fridge just in case I need to pop out and it's a quick meal, it's ready to go. I also make sure that I have 1 box of bananas that's green, and then I've got another box of bananas in the freezer, and that always makes sure that I'm continually have bananas in the house. Another thing is that when I go out, in my handbag I normally have some dates, and I have a bottle of water as well. If I don't have anything with me or enough to sustain me for a long period of time, I'd go to Woolworths, I'd get the nudie juice, and then I'd find a sushi bar and get an avocado sushi or some cucumber sushi. So they're my go-to when I'm out and about. So I hope you can resonate with some of these failures that I've had on my journey so far. It's okay. I don't beat myself up anymore. I've gotten to a point where I'm like, okay, this happened. What can I do to fix it for next time? So I hope wherever you are on your journey, you are doing the best you can with the knowledge you have at the time, and just continue each day to make better choices, and you'll be on your way to become the best version of yourself. Thank you so much, everyone. I truly appreciate all my lovely new subscribers because I've got quite a few recently. And thank you once again for your support.
If you enjoyed today's video and would like to follow me on my journey, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And remember, be the change you want to see in the world.